down, this would be the axon. If I could take this off right here, this would attach here and we would have one long axon. So what you do want to know, this meeting point right here from the cell body and the axon, this triangular area, this is called the axon hillock. The next area, just distal, this is the initial segment right here. This is where the first action potential is generated on the axon. And then this here, guys, this gray, this is the cell membrane of the axon. You're going to call this the axolemma, right? And we can follow it. Here it is here it is over here. Now, on this middle part, they've cut the axolemma away so that we can look into the cytoplasm right here. So this cytoplasm of the axon is going to be called the axoplasm. And you can see there's some organelles in there too. Mitochondria, some Nissl bodies are in there. So it has some organelles too. So that's the axoplasm, the whole orange section there. On this model, it would be the brown, like that. And then this would be the axolemma right here. This model, as well as this model, has the myelin sheath on it. So the myelin sheath is made up by cells called the Schwann cells. So this whole cell right here is the Schwann cell. You can see it's wrapped around the axon. Here's the Schwann cell. Here's another Schwann cell over here. And then here's the starting of another one. Notice that the nucleus of the Schwann cell is always at the periphery. So that's the nucleus of the Schwann cell here. We can see a little bit there. And then over here. Right, you can't just put nucleus. You'd have to say nucleus of the Schwann cell because this is also a nucleus of the whole neuron. Right, so you got to be specific. Nucleus of the Schwann cell. This is nucleus of the neuron. Right, we want to be specific. The outer layer of the Schwann cell is called the neurolemma. So where my finger is here and where my stick is out over here, this is the neurolemma. It's just the outer membrane of the Schwann cell. And then remember also right here, there's a gap between the Schwann cells. They don't touch. Those are called the node of Ranvier. Right? So that gap is the node of Ranvier. Finally, this whole axon would have a connective tissue covering on it. That's this right here, number 12. This is called the endoneurium. It's just a connective tissue covering, right, that they've cut away so that we can see all these structures. That is the endoneurium. Same thing here. This is the endoneurium. Okay? Last thing, almost forgot one thing. These tan structures here, as well as these orange structures over here, these are showing other neurons that are synapsing with our neuron on the model. So these are actually like the telodendria or the axon terminals that are synapsing with our neuron. Notice that the axon terminals can synapse in different places. This is the axon of one neuron synapsing with the dendrite of our neuron. So this synapse location is called a axodendritic synapse. Opposed to, let's put this back on for a second. Here, this axon is synapsing with our cell body. So this would be an axosomatic synapse. Okay? So it's describing where the synapse is taking place. This one here is the axon of one neuron synapsing with the axon of our neuron. This would be an axo-axonic synapse, axo-axonic. Over here, just to kind of put it together, just move your pocket over a little bit. This would be an axosomatic right here. Sorry, right here. Axodendritic right there. Axodendritic right there. Okay. So if I ask you next week, identify the synapse, you just got to give me what two parts of synapse. It's that easy. All right. That's it for that. Those two.